The big three are get some B12, which exists in a lot of fortified foods, but I still encourage my patients, given the absence of any harm to taking B12, even too much. Vitamin D, but that is a fat-soluble vitamin. You have to be a little cautious about the dose of vitamin D, 1,000 or 2,000 international units a day. And then omega-3, the algae omega-3. Those are the big three we talk about. Not everybody needs to do it. If you just did B12, you'd be covering the bases. I will say there's solutions out there. There's a cool little spray that has vitamin D, B12, algae omega-3, whole problem's done. I use that spray on the Joe Rogan show just to show, okay, let's move on to the next topic. There's a new capsule out that does it. You can create your own combinations. One of the famous plant doctors has a multivitamin that has them all in it. I like that idea because I just figure it's, for everybody, plant eaters, omnivores, keto eaters, getting all the micronutrients and vitamins we need is a challenge. I like to back it up with a little, protecia.
What about K2?
Because you understand? No. Do you want me to define that for you?
No.
Okay.
What about K2? Because it can only be found in natto, which is disgusting.
Yeah, I shine my shoes with natto. It's terrible. I know. It's funny you know that. Apparently, you can acquire a taste to it, a soybean paste that is ethnically Japanese and loved, and maybe the reason their high diet in vitamin K2 is the reason they have very low cardiovascular disease and other diseases, because it's like a super vitamin that we learned about in the last 4 decades. But I am sensitive and use in my heart practice a lot of vitamin K2 supplements. Some multivitamins by some of the leading plant-based docs include vitamin K2, which I'm all for. If you haven't, the audience read about it, it's worth reading a little bit about vitamin K2. Now, again, is it a bad diet if you have to shore it up with a couple supplements? I mean, vitamin K2 may be important for bone health, of which plant-based eaters have great bone health, may be important for cardiovascular health. That's pretty much the case. So take it, big deal.
Okay. Yeah. Or eat the natto.
Eat the natto. Or look for a plant-friendly multivitamin that has K2 in it as a one-stop solution.
Natto's the only food, right?
Natto is the highest concentration. Yeah, natto. Okay. You can get like a natto roll at a sushi restaurant, but warning, it's like Limburger cheese to the uninitiated.
What about leafy greens?
Leafy greens have more vitamin K1, but the body will convert into vitamin K2.
Well,
as far as we know, there's not like a rampant deficiency of vitamin K2 in the public in general, but it may be, there's a study out of Rotterdam, Netherlands, more is better in younger arteries protecting from heart attack and stroke. It's pretty cool data.
Collagen supplementation has become very popular, especially bone broth. Do our bodies actually absorb supplemented collagen, or can and should our bodies make it through plant-based foods? If so, which ones?
Well, I'm going to lose friends with this question. Bean broth, not bone broth. No, I have a lot of friends in the collagen bone broth world, and I love them dearly, but please don't watch this. So let's take bone broth. Medical doctor, we have a scientific method. Probably nobody describes it better than Dr. Longo, I mentioned before. You go to the medical library and you say, man, everybody's doing bone broth for great skin and for wonderful health. I wonder, there's got to be some awesome science. There's actually one paper on bone broth in the medical world, and it says that the content of bone broth has a very high concentration of lead, because what are you cooking up? You're cooking up bones. Where does lead hide in the body? In bones. So just go ahead and just release all that lead into your broth. Very concerning. Now, some of the brands people are buying claim they test for lead, and that may be true. I haven't done my own independent research. But is there any data that supports, other than my Jewish grandmother giving me chicken soup as a child and that kind of, ethnic experience? The whole bone broth thing lacks any actual science. There's always people that feel better on anything, and it may be that it actually works. It may be that it's a bone broth placebo. Placebo is very powerful. Mm-hmm. A celebrity person tells you that's going to make you feel better, you feel better. I mean, it happens. The collagen issue is a real important topic. I'm glad you brought it up. You obviously have conquered this yourself, because beautiful skin and beautiful arteries go together. I'm being honest, because Linus Pauling, PhD, some people might know Dr. Pauling, passed away about 20 years ago, won 2 Nobel Prizes. That means guy's pretty on top of his game.
Yeah.
Was the biochemistry expert of the world of vitamin C and collagen. And he identified to make strong arteries, beautiful skin, great hair. You need to make collagen, and you make it from vitamin C, and you make it from lysine. Lysine's an amino acid. Well, it turns out, nobody knows this, there's only 4 animals on the planet can't make vitamin C, and every human, raise your hand right now, we can't make vitamin C. Dogs make it, cats make it, squirrels make it, cows make it. We have no ability, because we used to live in the Garden of Eden and all kinds of plants. Apes can't make it either, because they live in the jungle and they're pounding down. So it's been estimated if we hadn't lost this enzyme in our liver about 5 million years ago, we'd make 8, 10, 12 grams of vitamin C a day to support the average human body size. Average American, the U.S. government says 60 milligrams, 90 milligrams. We're talking about 9 grams. It's major, 100-fold difference. So Dr. Pauling said the American public is vitamin C deficient, therefore weak collagen, therefore weak arteries, heart disease, stroke, therefore wrinkly skin and aging. And there's some credibility to that whole hypothesis, which has a lot of support. What do plant eaters do better than anybody? We get lots of vitamin C, leafy greens, fruits, vegetables, even whole grains have some. It's a huge advantage. And lysine can be found in almonds, can be found in lentils and many of the legumes. So we kick butt in the collagen world. And if you eat collagen, you have to break it down in your stomach and intestines to the amino acid, basic protein and carbohydrate content. You have to rebuild in the body back to whatever the body needs. So it's not like collagen becomes your collagen. Collagen becomes broken down goo that gets across your GI wall and becomes whatever you need. It might go towards making collagen, it might not, but it's more protein. So just up your vitamin C rich foods, which is basically whole fruits and vegetables as often as you can.
Nice.
It's a lot of nonsense, but it's a multi-billion-dollar industry right now, or at least multi-$100 million, and we just pulled the rug completely out of it.